Hello everyone, this is Ollie aka Soul Warrior, and today we're gonna be looking at how to improve your heroes in Rivengard. That means I'm gonna break it all down for you. I'm gonna explain you the difference between emblems and essences and epic hero badges and orbs and what do you need all of these for, and should you even upgrade your heroes in the first place. I'm gonna run you through the entire process so you know how to make the most out of your units. Before we get started with that video, let's hear it quickly from our sponsors. Oh man, where was this desert level with all of these palace guards? I can't find it.
Are you tired playing like a noob? Simply go to the Rivengard Wiki. On the Rivengard Wiki you can find all the nerd information about Rivengard there is, together with mini-maps about all the levels in the game, so you don't have to access them first to find out if it's the level you're looking for. Popular pages include the Hero Spotlights, where you can find everything there is about a hero, together with Ascension, equipment slots, gear progression, and even lore if you have the time to read all of that. And then there's even more on the Rivengard Wiki. Not sure what festival quest could come up next? Just check out the Rivengard Wiki to fix all of your information needs. The Rivengard Wiki. Countless hours have been put into this by the contributors, so you don't have to.
Alright, with that out of the way, let's look at our heroes. So here we can see the hero overview, and the good news is that by now you can actually find all the information you need in the game itself. Simply click on a hero, like the red rat for example, and then on the top left above the name you can click on the rarity, in this case common, and it's gonna show you where you are exactly in terms of hero progression. And there's all the information in there that you need. I know it is a little daunting at first, but let's break this down. You start with unlocking a hero. You need a couple of shards for that, depends on the rarity of the hero. Once you unlock the hero, he is a common with just 1 star. You might remember those 1-star heroes from when you started the game. They are not very good. The most important thing about them is 1, the max level is 8, and 2, the max rank. We're gonna be talking a lot about ranks in this video. Just know that level is one thing, and then there's also ranks. Once you have enough laurels of a hero, we can see that here I currently own 173 because there was a festival with the red rat where you could get infinite laurels basically for that hero. You can start to promote the hero. Promoting means increasing the number of stars. Now this looks extremely tempting, promoting your heroes, because you can tell, hey, we're getting some extra, 20% in fact, of physical armor, of attack value, and on top of the physical damage also the health. Now this sounds like a lot, but let's try to read over what this means exactly, because it also says that at the very top of this hero progression chart, that what you're actually getting for each star is a 20% bonus to the hero's base stats. Keyword in this is actually base, and I try to really show you why. So here we see a granny that was just promoted. I know we can't read it, but I promise you this is what happened. She just got her 4th purple star instead of 3 that she had before, and look at granny go. She went from 590 all the way to 626. What? The reason for that is that base stats for a hero tend to be very, very low. Like 80% of the stats of a hero do not depend on the level of a hero or on the rarity of a hero. They actually depend on the gear that the hero is wearing. Let's try to really knock this point home by showing you some more images. So here we have everybody's favorite nightmare in PvP, Dorga, with 15k power. This is a level 27 Dorga. She's got lots of health, 780, does 220 damage, and she's got 319 magical armor. Looks like a very powerful unit, and she is. Now let's look at the level 36 version of Dorga, and we can immediately tell, yeah, obviously this is a way stronger unit, 50k power rating, and now she's got 1288 health, 426 magical damage, and on top of that 720 magical armor. This is why it's so hard to shoot Dorga down. Now look at something else, and I promise you these images are not photoshopped. So this next image is a level 38 Dorga. Yes, the power rating went up, but look at the stats. Nothing changed. And I promise you, these are not photoshopped images. Here's a level 39 Dorga. The only thing that changed was like the background position. Nothing else changed. The power rating went up a little bit, but why is that? Obviously the active and passive effects. The stats of the unit did not change. We're going one higher. We got a level 40 Dorga. Still the same stats. Power rating keeps increasing, stats stay the same. Level 41, same story. And now try and spot the difference, but I gotta say it's kinda obvious. We're going from level 41 Dorga to our next screenshot this is a level 42 Dorga. All of a sudden we see an explosion in the stats. We also see an explosion with the power rating. What is the reason for that? I mean, I know you guys saw it immediately. It is the rank, the gear rank. She's now a gold rank 1 Dorga, and that makes all the difference. In actually this game, it's all about the clothes you're wearing, or rather the gear that you're wearing under those clothes. I don't know exactly where the gear is going, but you guys know what I'm trying to say here. Alright, so if it's all about the gear, why should I actually invest that many resources into improving my units? Well, I'm glad you asked, because there is a very good reason why you should be doing that. And for that, we need to look at the active ability of Dorga. At level 24, the tadpole, the Reefkin egg basically, has 207 health and damage. And for the rest of this video, just assume that the health and the damage are always the same, because it saves me some time spelling that out for you guys, and they are always the same. If we were to upgrade it for 5,500, we would go up to 216, which is a net increase of 9 points. Doesn't sound that bad, doesn't sound amazing either. Obviously we have to pay a lot of money for that. But let's look at what happens once we are reaching the highest stratospheres basically, and we're looking at a level 37 Dorga. All of a sudden, the Reefkin tadpoles have 375 health and damage. And the 14k, I mean lots of money obviously, the 14k that we have to invest would give us a buff of 21 points. And this gets worse or better depending on how you're looking at it, because at the next level 38 to going up to level 39 there is a difference of 24 points, so 3 extra points after the upgrade. This game basically keeps increasing. Suddenly we see a difference of 27 points, then we see a difference of 30 points, then we see a difference of 33 points, and eventually we're going to a difference of 39 points, and then even 42 points. And I think there was something wrong with my math at some point, because there's a very good chance that it was 33, 36, 39, 42, something like that. So what I'm saying is that these stats of these tadpoles, they get bigger and bigger, obviously, that's to be expected, but the gap from level to level is getting bigger and bigger. And that is the real difference maker, because this just keeps increasing. And when you're getting to closer and closer to level 50, these jumps in terms of the stats of these units sometimes become really extreme, at least as long as we're talking about summons. When you're talking about an active ability that deals damage, you also see some ridiculous jumps in terms of damage output. So now that we know that it actually pays out to get our heroes to higher levels, because the active and passive abilities get that much stronger, and on top of that they can actually wear better gear, that is the real difference maker in terms of stats, let's look at how we get there. Well, at the very beginning it is really easy to improve your heroes. This is very typical for Rivengard. Everything is very easy at the beginning, and then it suddenly gets really hard once you're like at the end game portion of the game. So we at the beginning need just some laurels. Those are like easily collected. We do the first 2 hero promotions and they get a little bit stronger, and suddenly we are hitting the first bottleneck, as I like to call them in this game, and that is because you now need things that are a lot harder to get. So shards are kinda hard to farm. If you haven't unlocked a hero, you cannot farm the shards for the respective hero in the Elite campaign. If this is complete news to you and you haven't never played the Elite campaign, don't worry, there is a good chance that Snowprint is actually going to address this until you make it to the Elite campaigns, because everybody on the official Discord is complaining about this. So once you have a unit unlocked, in my case the Red Rat, and you click on the hero shards, you can actually see where you can farm those shards. Now, if you wanted to unlock a hero that you haven't unlocked yet, so let's say I want to unlock a Nimrul for example, then it tells me then I need to find more hero shards to unlock Nimrul, but I can't because he's not available as a farmable unit anywhere in the campaign. This is one of the things that like drives some people completely berserk, and they go like, why can I not unlock Bullmon or a Nimrul or a Dorga, obviously, by just playing the game? Well, the reason is that there are a couple of heroes that you can only really get through the summoning portal. Going back to ascending our heroes, we can see that we do need some shards all the time. Then on top of that, we need some essences. Essences are one of those things that now are relatively easy to get. There are now quests that give you essences simply by playing the game with like a team of made up only of red units, for example. And then the third thing that you need is emblems. This is a bit frustrating because essences are already kind of team stamped. You cannot use them for whatever hero you want. It needs to be a red hero, and then on top of that you need an emblem, and the emblem doesn't even say it's a red hero. It actually needs to be an emblem from the respective faction of that hero. So in case of the red rat, that would be the Walled Kingdoms. That gets you basically over the first hump, and the unit goes from common to uncommon. So if we go back here, we can see all of a sudden our red rat, if she were to ascend to uncommon rarity, could go all the way up to level 17. And that means that we actually be able to do a lot more with this unit. She's gonna get a lot more powerful. Then it's gonna be laurels. Laurels again, that's relatively easy. As you can see, I have enough laurels to immediately push the red rat 2 more levels after I ascended her to uncommon. And then after that, we do go into the next bottleneck section of the game, where we need shards, essences and emblems. If you're kind of new to the game, it's kind of hard to find enough essences and emblems to upgrade your units, but I can tell you that the game now gives you or provides you with enough new ones so you can actually spend those. The general strategy in terms of what to make with your heroes in Rivengard, that I've talked to a couple of other players that are very accomplished, from the German brothers again, also from my own team, from my own squad, Eternal Nexus, and we are basically all in agreement that the best strategy in Rivengard to improve your squad is focus on a couple of heroes first. You do not want to try and get everybody up to rare or even up to epic. You need to basically make your selection. These are the units that I like the most. These are the units that have the most potential, and work on those units. So in my case, all the epic units that I already have, so basically everybody with Ranaklu and upwards, with the one exception of Agna, because Agna is not really worth the resources, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, Snowprint, I can't lie to my audience here. You actually want to invest resources on those guys. That's why most of them are gold rank 1, if I could get them to this gold rank 1, or they are silver ranks, or they're going to be very, very soon in the silver ranks, like Ranaklu himself. Then after that, there's Yasmin that I would really like to actually improve, but for Yasmin I now am at the bottleneck section where I need orbs. So let's talk about orbs. Orbs are the rarest item in the game, the most sought after item in the game. There are plenty of experienced players that, due to playing months of Onslaught and stuff like that, you can check this in your inventory here if you go to Ascension, they have infinite of these faction emblems, of the essences, and even of the hero badges and divine orbs. I mean, who really needs 4 epic hero badges for Penda? Or 3 for Aradel for that matter. I would rather trade those for like another Giggs badge or another Tim badge or something like that. So there are a lot of guys that have a lot of these items and they really don't need them at all. And the bottleneck is orbs, because unlike those items that you can only use for one hero, the orbs are the one universal item that you need for any kind of ascension, as long as we're talking about the higher rarities in the game. Akeshru at the moment, for example, she's got 1 purple star. I can promote her, she's gonna get another purple star, can promote her again, just farm some more laurels for her, just be lucky and get another epic hero badge, and all of a sudden, if I want to ascend her all the way to legendary, we are talking about a big investment in terms of orbs. Is that investment worth it? I would argue it very much is, because there's such a big difference in terms of the levels and the abilities, or the power of the abilities, between the levels 26 to 35 and then 35 and beyond. You do not want to just like randomly ascend every unit you have, but if you have a unit that you feel like has a lot of potential, like in my case, a Tim for example, you definitely want to invest those resources, because those units are really worth it. So here we can see my Tim, that was before he ascended all the way to legendary. It's at 46,000 power, it's got a lot of health. We can see he's basically maxed out with the Flood of Crabs, which is the best AoE effect in the game in my personal opinion. Does like serious damage, especially if the opposing units are next to water. And we can also see here that there's a very big jump from level 35 to level 36. I didn't put that much money into the Snapping Claw so far, but I'm gonna work on that once I find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Since it's been raining for 5 days in Berlin, there's a very good chance that I'm gonna get there. Another difference of 10 with 245, and we just keep improving that unit. And there's not that much of a difference. It's just like 10, 10, 10 all the time. But all of that changes basically once you are ascending the unit and the unit is now getting to legendary. All of a sudden, both the active and the passive do a lot more than before. They really give you a lot more power than you had. The power ranking of Tim immediately increased like crazy. And if we now look at the passive effect, the Snapping Claw, we can see that the difference is no longer just a meager 10 points, it's suddenly 12 points. And as we saw earlier, this just gets into a snowballing effect, and it gets like worse and worse for the opponent and better for us, because the difference with each additional level just gets increasing. Here's the Flood of Traps, also does a lot more damage than before. So wrapping up, should I ever not ascend a hero? Well, as a rule of thumb, if it's a hero with potential and you can get him to epic, you should totally drop the resources into him. If you're not sure whether it's a unit with a lot of potential, go to the official Rivengard Discord. There's a lot of helpful guys there that will point out for you if this is a really good unit or not. If you should prefer to save your resources, like in my case, for example, my Myvera could have ascended for like a full month at this point, but I'm not convinced that Myvera is like that strong. And I even have a second epic hero badge, so once I were to upgrade Myvera, I could immediately promote her again, but I'm not doing it because I'm not convinced that Myvera is gonna be an asset for my team. She's also not great in guild raid, which is also a major factor for me because I wanted to help my team to get those dragons down. So if it was Ranaklu, for example, I would immediately tell you, yeah, put some more resources into that. In my case, at the moment, we do have an Akeshro. She's at 129 of these laurels, so I just go to the battle basically, farm and hope for another laurel, and there we have one. So that means that now we can actually promote Akeshro, and she's gonna go up in terms of her stats, not by like a whole lot, but since it's only costing us an epic hero badge and we cannot use it for another unit anyway, as well as laurels that we cannot use for another unit anyway, there is no reason not to ever promote your hero. So what about the Ascensions that do not cost you orbs, but rather just shards, essences and emblems? My personal opinion is that you should kinda always go for those as long as you've got enough resources. In my case, I'm a fan of Boulder. I kinda like Boulder, to be honest. I think he's a cool tanky unit. So I just ascended him to rare, but I made sure that I first didn't have another green unit that I wanted to promote. In my case, Tavarinci needed another 100 whopping shards, and since I'm not expecting to pull her from the summoning portal anytime soon, for me this was like a clear-cut conclusion. I should go with Boulder. And we can see he kinda improves a little bit. In my case, due to the Boulder's adventure that is currently underway, that meant I had so many laurels, or collected so many laurels in such a short amount of time, that I could immediately promote him again. And there is absolutely no reason not to promote Boulder, because again, you don't need orbs, you just need laurels, and there's never a reason not to do that. So I hope that gives you a really good overview, and you now have a clearer idea of what units to promote and what you need for all of those promotions. In short, save your orbs for your best 3 to 5 units and make sure that you get those to the highest levels, because that can really make the difference. Once they are legendary, there is no reason to invest any further orbs into them, because you first want to build your core squad of around 5 units, maybe 6 or 7 if you want to switch them around depending on guild raid, depending on PvP map, stuff like that. And then once you've got 7 really good units, you can now think about investing even more resources into adding that 4th purple star, or even a 5th purple star, or get one of those ridiculously large golden stars that nobody really needs. Those people that have those stars, they are just like doing it to show off. So we don't need that. We don't need that in this game. We can actually do a lot of damage without show off units. If you have any questions, if you want to know if your hero squad is good, join the Discord of ETERNAL NEXUS. Actually, we give you lots of free advice there, and of course also the official Discord. There's a lot of veteran players in this game that share their findings there, and they will let you know that Katsuma is overrated, Boulder is underrated, and you should all just try and farm Talamo laurels, because she's the only unit in the game that is a legendary that you can actually farm shards for. And since it's so hard, it takes like a year to do this in the regular campaigns, please leave a comment below and tell Snowprint #ELITEFARMING. We all want to be able to unlock shards for a hero that we didn't unlock yet by going to the elite campaigns. This is the purpose of this video, really. This is the only thing that I wanted to say. Now, in all seriousness, I hope this helped. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I see you very soon in the arena. Bye bye. and you can see currently the tadpole that would be wear better gear, which then increases the shards, essences and emblems are like super hard to, or kinda hard to find. If you're relatively new to the game, you should try to hold back on your shard. Jesus Christ. We want to be able to farm shards for heroes in elite campaigns, even before we didn't. We need to make this a little bit more catchy.